Indicate the activities I have given to you in this subject and provide a minute of explanation. So, why do you think this subject is indicated in your course? How important it is? Our course Hi guys! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I will answer some questions given to me. So this is a Q&A vlog. So if you notice, I have here a container. This container has papers inside, meaning there are questions in it. And all I do is pick a question and answer it. By the way, have you noticed my makeup? I just prepared for this vlog.
Wow!
So, let's start. So, the first question is, introduction for the basic clothing production. So, in this subject, basic clothing production, it is about fashion industry and clothing production process, which is, it is important to know the history of clothing and the importance of clothing in our life. So, in this subject, you will know the history of fashion too, the types of fashions, and the elements of art. Here, you will also discover the clothing basic and the high quality clothing manufacturers in the world and in the Philippines, which contribute to the fashion industry. So, the correct garment plant layout is in this subject too. What is the reason for plant layout problems? What are the example of garment layout? The basic production layout formats, which includes process layout, product layout, hybrid layout, fixed position layout, and the U-shape layout. So, this subject also tackle what are the ethical issues in a fashion industry and how to solve them. So, the clothing properties and metabolic heat product are also here. So, you can also find out here what clothing humidity is, what the effects of clothing humidity in our clothes, and how to prevent clothing humidity in our garments. So, and also the importance of knowing clothing humidity in the fashion industry, and we also tackle the global apparel market, which measures the market sale of clothing and apparel. The growth of the apparel market is expected to increase yearly. So you will discover too that one of the clothing company was on the rank in the highest sales in the world. So the second question is, indicate the activities I have given to you in this subject and provide a minute of explanation. So in this subject, my teacher Ma'am Anna gave activities to find out if we learned anything in her subject. So the first activity what she gave is a questions in which we will describe according to our own understanding on what is textile, what are the clothing manufacturing cons and pros, fashion basics, and the apparel manufacturing. So we were also given an activity where we would find a picture showing the importance of passion. So passion is important for me because it reflects the culture of a country. It makes our life colorful and change our life with time. So in a way, it also adds variety to life, providing an opportunity in trying out something new. So another activity was differentiate the clothes versus apparel, garments versus textile, and easy to wear versus high quality versus lifestyle based come up. So this activity was about fashion, what we wear since then, and an overview of what we know about textiles and clothing manufacturing. So the second activity was about history of clothing, in which we made our own video about the history of clothing. So here, as I remember, we discussed where our clothes came from and when they are made of and who discovered the textile. So the textile were made from the skin of animals and natural fibers. So because of the climate change, it was invented, and as time went by from the 20th century to the 21st, fashion continued to change every year and today is still changing. So the third activity was about making our own garment production layout. We also give our insights about when deciding on the layout for a warehouse, the objectives should clearly defined. So which is you need to make sure you follow the overall objectives of plant layout to have a better production and reduce risk for the workers. So last question is, what is your solution on a poor layout? So for example, you have expanded your factory to the other side of the land which is not yours. So basically you need to make sure that your company is in your land and not in others, for you to have a better relationship with other people and don't damage your company. So the next activity was about ethical issues, which is this activity discuss how to solve that ethical issues. So last activity was about the types of fabric, in which we watch a video and answer a question. So this activity was about how we properly care each type of fabric and what are the characteristics of the different types of fabric we have. Last activity was about the types of fabric, in which we watch a video and answer a question. So this activity was about how we properly care each type of fabric and what are the characteristics of the different type of fabric we have. So for example is linen. It draws moisture out of your body and it dries really quickly. It is very durable. It won't stretch out. It won't lose its shape, and it's going to last really long time. So the next question is, basic production layout format. Kindly choose one layout format and demonstrate it. Discuss why did you choose it, and for you, why is it important to have that kind of format. So there are basic production layout format types: the process layout, the product layout, the hybrid layout, U-shaped layout, and the fixed position layout. So I'm gonna choose one layout format, and that is process layout. So when we say process layout, it is by department. The process layout arrange workflow around the production process. All workers performing similar tasks are grouped together. So, products pass from one workstation to another, but not necessarily to every workstation. So, for example is, all grinding would be done in one area, all assembling in another, and all inspection in another. So, the process layout is best for firms that produce small numbers of a wide variety of products, typically using general-purpose machines that can be changed rapidly to new operations for different product design. So, for example, again is, a manufacturer of custom machinery would use a process layout. So, the workflow is organized around the production process in the process layout. So, workers who do comparable duties are assigned to the same group. Products are moved from one workstation to the next, but not necessarily to every workstation. So, all grinding, for example, would be done in one location, assembly in another, and inspection in yet another. So, firms that produce modest quantities of a wide range of products, often employing general-purpose machines that can be quickly changed to new processes for varied product designs. So, why did I choose it? First of all, I don't know why I chose it. Char. I choose process layout because it is bigger space at floor and it is environmental friendly. So the tendency is that it will not be difficult for the workers to work because they will use machines to speed up their work. They will no longer have difficulty moving from stage to stage. Like in clothing production, the process of making a garment is done by a department. So suppose there is a storage room, a cutting department, a funnel checking department, a printing department, a stitching and cropping department, and finishing and checking, and lastly, a packing and loading department. So, this is kind of important to speed up the flow of making a product. There is less work in the process and proper production control is in place. Also, in order to minimize the movement of workers who cause accidents. So, for our next question, as a student who studied this course subject, what do you think are the importance of knowing the ethical issues in fashion industry? What are your thoughts on preventing such ethical issues? Knowing ethical issues in fashion industry is important because it is our social and environmental obligation. And if we do nothing now, it may be too late later. Also, to anticipate it immediately and provide a solution for that ethical issues. So, ethical issues in the fashion industry are child labor, low wage, environmental degradation, animal cruelty, and health and safety risks. So, to avoid ethical issues in the fashion industry, clothing companies need to pay workers correctly so that they do not become lazy to work and also to have fairness. The existence of legislation for these ethical issues is also one solution because of law enacted such as Republic Act 2710 will reduce working age 17 below. In child labor, to solve this kind of ethical issue, we need to report those child to the DSWD if they have no family to support them. Educate yourself, and the company should not hire at least 17 below for the safety of your company. The Republic Act 10631, which is known as Animal Welfare Act, this in turn can be said to be a good law to reduce those who abuse our animals. In the low wage, we also have the Republic Act 6727, which is that companies should pay workers correctly, as I said earlier. On environmental degradation, there is Republic Act 9512, and on health and safety risks, the law is Republic Act 11058. So that in case something happens to their workers, the company will answer it. To avoid this kind of ethical issues, the company needs to put in place guides and caution to prevent accidents within the company. Inspectors by department also need to inspect to find out if what the workers are doing is wrong or right. So beware of those who fake the age to apply when someone is applying to your company. So beware of someone who fake their age. And those companies that hire 17 below must take action. So the last question we have is, why do you think this subject is indicated in your course? How important it is? Answer it with not more than 100 words. Our course is Bachelor of Technical Vocational Teacher Education, major in Garments, Fashion, and Design. So basic clothing production is indicated in our course because our major is Garments, Fashion, and Design, which means that the lesson here is about sewing, processing clothing production, layout format in the fashion industry, all about garments, and for us to understand the importance of having knowledge, ideas, and information in the fashion industry. This subject is related to our course, which means you will learn a lot about our apparel production, about textile, and garments. Also, how to properly lay out the processing of a clothing industry. This is important to us as a student who want to teach in the future. If we're going to teach TLE in junior high school, and so that we can apply what we have learned in basic clothing production. And also we can apply it to our real life situation, and we can teach our knowledge of this subject to our students. So maybe if we can teach right away, we can use our sewing skills in school. And we can also work in a clothing company. So I'm done answering all of the questions. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog and learned something new. I also hope you enjoyed the viewing experience. And see you again in my upcoming video. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch. Bye. Bye.